is equivalent to more information. More people do more work. More people mean people can do what they are best at. So why make decision in groups? Groups can discuss and process information and check out for errors. Groups have standards for deciding. Example majority rules in groups and is not caused by any one specific mechanism, but group decisions are made by several processes. Now let's take a look at functional theory of group decision making. Skill decision making groups more likely use procedures that enhance the way they gather, analyze, and weight information. Let's take a look at phases of decision making. First is orientation. Orientation involves defining the problem, planning the process, setting the strategy and goals. Performance is high if more time is spent in this stage. Next is discussion. Discussion about the entire problem. It incorporates exchanging information, requires acquiring and sharing data, and processing information to reach the desired state, which involve collective review of information. Then comes deciding, which involves utilizing social decision making schemes, which can be defined as strategies used to select a single alternative from various alternatives proposed by the group. Another method covered in social decision making schemes is statistical aggregation, in which group members' individual decisions are averaged. And the final phase is implementation, which involves evaluating the decision, and participation is the key in decision making. If limited, hostility, turnover, and satisfaction decreases. At the end, discussions are reviewed, which involve gathering group together, reviewing decisions made and discussion making process, and looking for lessons learned and record them. Now let's take a look at group development stages. Before we begin with the explanation of group development stages, let's take a look at what are formal groups. Groups specially set up by a business to carry out tasks, an actual part of the organization with arranged meetings and rules determining behavior and actions. Informal groups are made up of individuals in business with similar interests, not an actual part of the organization with no formal rules determining behavior and actions. Let's study what are functions of groups. In respect for the organization, it involves accomplish jobs that cannot be done by one individual, especially complex tasks, aid decision making, help control individual behavior, and facilitate changes. In respect to the individual, function of groups is to enable and help learn about the company and the individuals themselves. It also involves help in gaining new skills, obtain rewards unable to be achieved alone, and satisfy personal needs in social acceptance, esteem. Now let us study the steps involved in development of groups in detail. First stage in group development is forming. Group members try to set rules for group behaviors. Individuals start to find out about each other. Guidance is needed from the leader. Open communication is a must. Focus on similarities and differences. First impressions are the key. Next is storming, a conflict stage where members bargain with each other. Individuals reveal their personal goals and may resist the control of others. Then comes norming. In this stage, group members are developing ways of working together. They agree on the shared goals, and rules are developed in this stage. Then comes performing. A group has developed unity or cohesion. People are getting the job done to realize goals. And the final stage is adjourning. The group ends. The group terminates because the task has been achieved or when the members have left due to the failure or loss of interest. The feelings of members vary at this stage. While some may be happy about the group's accomplishments, others may be depressed that they would be losing their friends after the group is disbanded. Now let's take a quick look at characteristics of effective groups. An effective group should promote high commitment to achieve goals. It should reflect clear understanding of the group's work, should follow open communication and trust, Ideas generated must be shared openly. Criticism and suggestions must be shared constructively. Now let's study what factors affect group decision making. Ideally, the size of group should be 5 and over 21 proves to be ineffective. Then leadership styles such as automatic, persuasive, consultative or democratic. The best leadership style that works is consultative. And finally, the skills used in groups such as contribution skills, cooperation skills and production skills. Now, what is intergroup conflict? While carrying out discussions and interactions in a group, conflicts might arise. So now let's take a look at why and how conflicts arises. Conflict is a process that results when one person or a group of people perceives that another person or group is frustrating is or is about to frustrate over an important concern. What is conflict versus competition? Competition is directed towards obtaining a goal without interference from another party. One way to prevent competition from escalating into conflict is to remove opportunities for interference. Let's take a look at views on conflict. One of the contemporary view on conflict states that conflict should be managed and it can encourage a search for new tactics and strategies and overcome stagnation and complacency. What are the sources of conflict? Sources of the conflict can be communication factors, which is believed to be the principal cause of conflict in organizations. Perfect communication is rare. Incorrect, distorted, or ambiguous information can create hostility. Another factor that contribute to a rise of conflict is structural factors. These are size,